Patterson says, hey, big dog, all these new cards and new ban lists, how would I know what's good? And that's why we're here, guys. A meta tier list, post the new ban list, and post the selection pack, beat the boss, guys. So today we're going to be talking about the strategies in Master Duel. And keep in mind, while players can have success with just about any of these strategies, what we're doing here is we're giving you guys information on how easy it is to be able to win with these strategies. Let's go ahead and start off with Branded. I think Branded, of course, chat will also be chiming in what they think. I think Branded is good enough to still W's. This deck will get a lot stronger because now that we have confirmed support in the TCG, I think that whoever decrafted their Branded cards like yours truly is probably starting to regret it because this strategy really, really strong overall. And with the correct player, you're just going crazy with it. It's just incredibly good. I think that Blue Eyes becomes an even better option in what people are giving it credit. Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon is one of the very few cards that has interactions with card effects in the graveyard. You essentially get monsters that are Skullmeisters, which are pretty good against Mitsurugi. If anything, Blue Eyes might even go to Masters tier just because of how strong it could be. I think one deciding factor about this deck is going to be Nibiru to Primal Being. Now, I think that players are going to start playing Nibiru a lot more. But Nibiru has been an insane card for quite some formats. It's been an insane card for a very long time. And players still haven't been playing Nibiru. So if players don't play Nibiru, then this deck can be Masters. If players actually do adhere to it and play Nibiru, solid option. I got 10,000 gems and 350 ultra rare. Where do I spend it? That is a lot. I would probably invest into some of these other decks that we're going to talk about. Blue Eyes could be one, though, because Blue Eyes is one of those forever supported decks, no matter what. We don't have Sky Striker on here, do we? We should probably add Sky Striker. I'll even talk about it. I think Sky Striker will also be in that solid option if we add Sky Striker on here. I don't see Sky Striker. No. So I would put it in solid option. Simply because it's one of those decks that's going to be forever supported. Maybe even just good enough to still W's range. It's a good deck, but it's always forever supported, so it's one of the safer options for Master Duel. Newvelles, I think Newvelles is good enough to still W's. I don't think that this deck is really great. I think it's more of a symptom of Yu-Gi-Oh players not reading, and that's what's going to get you a lot of wins. The support for Newvelles, don't get me wrong, it's actually good. But Yu-Gi-Oh players, you're going to get a lot of wins just because Yu-Gi-Oh players are not going to sit there and try to read all of your Newvelles cards. I'm not even going to lie, chat. This strategy is, I think, 3 or 4 years old. Still don't know what they do. All I know is don't target them. Don't attack them. And you're actually okay. Right? It's one of those decks. Crystron, I still think is a solid option. Nothing changes for the ban list for Crystron. It actually got a little bit stronger. Called by the Grave, stuff like that. Branded be catching strays by Lancey and cooked by Impulse and Ash. That's why I still think it's good enough to still W's, but yeah, it does have a harder time, especially at Impulse is stronger. Crystron is also a really, really solid deck. It's not going to lose to Nib. It's also not going to lose to a lot of the other cards that are being played. Testina is going to be our first strategy that I'm going to put in. I'm just playing. I'm going to put it in Takes a Really Good Pilot. Testina is another one of those strategies that people don't pay attention to, but it has some really good effects. Like, this deck is a walking Daruma cannon. I found that out the hard way one time. So, solid Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but I wouldn't say that it's like one of the top tiers with the new support. Dragonmaid, I would also put in It Takes a Good Pilot. Dragonmaid does get better when we get Dracotel, but Dracotel is nowhere near to be seen, right? I haven't seen Crystron since people started using Lancia, and that's why I think Crystron will be even better, because Lancia should see an even bigger decline. But Dragonmaid is a deck that once it gets going, it's almost really hard to stop. But the problem is getting the deck going. The new support is really good, but doesn't necessarily solve the problem that this deck has, which is still getting going. It plays like 9 normal summons. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Morganite players, I just want to point out that you guys are the worst Yu-Gi-Oh players in the entire world. I would never co-sign you playing a Morganite deck. And I just wanted to let you know, your mom hates you. She didn't want to be there for your birth. She actually abandoned you before you were born. You were the only person born, okay? Your father, we don't know who he is. We don't. We'll never find out. Heck, everybody could collectively be your father. If they beat you, they're your dad now, okay? If you're a Morganite player, you gay if you play Morganite. Hey, nowadays in 2025, that's not what you think it is. That's like a badge of honor. Like a lot of people are like, hey, hold on. So, you know, I don't think that's exactly what you mean, but yeah, definitely your mother, she doesn't like you. Everybody's your father because we don't know who she is if you're a Morganite player. Super Quanto, I think it takes a really good pilot. This deck does a lot. Bro, yo, you're gonna load. You got to bring yourself back. All right. So it's a crazy thing to say. I would refrain from saying stuff like that from here on out. This deck's actually pretty decent, right? I think the problem with it is that you're gonna have Maxi. Maxi's gonna cook you. And there's actually a stronger deck that will be coming out that does what this deck does, except a little bit better. But nonetheless, I think it's a really fun deck. It's really crazy. Dark Magician is 4 Freight Duelist for obvious reasons. Voiceless Voice, I think, is good enough to still W's. It's a solid Yu-Gi-Oh deck. And Vanquish Soul is definitely in that 4 Freight Duelist category. This deck's absolutely cheeks. So what exactly is the TheCaliEffect? Eternal Dragon, I can tell you right now. You have a sister, or a mother, or a girlfriend that has Amazon Prime. Use that Amazon Prime to subscribe. That is my effect right now. Boom, right there. Labyrinth did get a lot of good things going for it, like both of the Stovey Torby and Shane Dragolier, but I think it puts it into really, really good pilot at best. These cards don't fix Labyrinth's problem with going second. In Master Duel, you still have Dimensional Barrier, I believe, and Different Dimension Ground. So there are some Labyrinth players that are going to love to have their floodgates. But the overall problem with this deck is that Yu-Gi-Oh strategies are moving a little bit too fast for trap cards unless you're going first. I think it's time to finally address the elephant in the room. Heroes are not good. And I know you guys may not like that. Heroes are not good. I say this purely out of respect for hero players, guys. Your deck costs way too much and doesn't do enough. Dark Law is not. Think about it. There's literally a deck that does what Heroes does better. Cash Tira. And the deck's not good. So, I mean, come on now. Tempai Dragon, I would say takes a really good pilot, but let's be honest. If you're playing Tempai Dragon, you're not a good pilot. If you're playing Dragon Ruler Tempai Dragon, you're a Floodgater, and you're not a good pilot. But yeah, it's definitely not. It actually is good enough to still W's because of the Floodgate. I think Dragon Ruler Tempai Dragon is you summon Arclord Christia going first, and you OTK them going second. So you actually have a good going first and second plan, right? Yeah, but even before then, you can run so many blowouts that people don't think about investing in. You can Floodgate on Clockwork Knight, get the extra Omni Therion, kill a turn on Collapse. The sky's the limit, even pure. What are you guys talking about? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You're talking about K9? K9's not out just yet. There's nothing really special about Centurion right now. A couple of hand traps really does put this deck in a bind. And Dominus is an insane card against them. I would also say the same thing about Purrely. These decks just kind of got... Oh, Crystron. My bad. Crystron is... Or, not Crystron. Purrely is a good deck because it summons a big Towers card. But if you guys are noticing the Towers decks, they kind of go and takes a really good pilot. I think Fire King also takes a good pilot. We've been flooding our opponent with Fire Barrier Statue. But to be honest with you guys, that is so nibbable, it's not funny. So, beware. I think Orcust is probably one of the better decks. So this deck got a benefit with Called by the Grave. It got a benefit with Nib. If Nib becomes a card, this deck is pretty good against Nib. This deck is just solid against all of the cards being played right now. And the Droll factor, it never really hurt this deck. I think this Mitsurugi is an alternative to pure Mitsurugi, but Mitsurugi is obviously the best. Now, I talked about Dragon Rollers with Tempai, so I'm just going to, I think these two concepts should be merged together. So I'm just going to move this back here and not talk about it. It's literally the same deck. I don't think you play Tempai Pure, and I don't think you play Dragon Roller Pure. I think you play Tempai Dragon Roller. Mermor, I still think Mermor's solid. One of the better decks. This deck has a really hard time playing against some of the best decks in the game. The good thing about this deck is that when it pops off and it's great. The bad thing about this deck is that a triple tactics talent ruins your entire board. So that sucks. I think Cyber Dragon is actually good enough to steal W's. I know what you guys are saying. I'm going crazy. I have Cyber Dragon gameplay that we're hopefully going to put up on the channel very soon. And you'll see it. But no, this deck is actually, it's solid in my opinion. Sword Soul needs new support. The deck's trash. This deck got so much stronger because Droll going to 2. So there's that. I think that's pretty cool. Malice, I would not count Malice out. I wouldn't count Malice out ever. Not until Dormouse, White Rabbit, the Field Spell, Splash Mage Band, and the other cards, the cards I just said are at 1. I just wouldn't count it out. All right? Oh, yeah, of course, White Forest does get more support. Memento, I think, is good enough to steal W's. The deck really sucks against Maxi, and Call By did get hit, so that does hurt a little bit more. Ryzeal feels dead. I'm going to say pure Ryzeal is definitely dead. But Ryzeal variants will still be really good. Punk, I'm going to put in It Takes a Good Pilot. Gem Knight, I think, is one of best deck. Gem Knight's crazy strong. And lastly is BES. Brother, what are we doing here? Come on, man. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it, dog. Best deck! All right, for sure. But those are my thoughts on the entire Master Duel tier list, guys. Post the ban list and, of course, the new pack, which is called Beat the Boss. We'll get another tier list very soon because we'll have a new selection pack that we'll talk about. But let me know what you guys think about this so far. What do you think? BES without E is crazy. Let me know what you guys think down below, right? Ice is at 3. Tachyon's at 3. Still good enough to steal W's? Okay, I'll give you that. I'll say that. I don't think that it's worse than, I don't think it's this right here. But I could say with Ice at 3, Pure is not the end of the world. So yeah, I could see that. And I could actually see it anywhere between here as a Pure variant. But the variant decks are going to be good. Gem Knight's still a top deck? Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. Brother, man, I think Gem Knights were just doing the Molnir lock because they can, not because they're like, they did it to you because they could do it to you. This has nothing to do with, it's like the best Tempai Dragon deck. I still think that it's crazy. All right. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Can't wait to see what you have to say down below in the comment section.